Hey guys, this is IrieStarcraft and I'm back to cast another game for you. This one is going to be a 2 versus 2 and it's going to be on Tyrador Keep. And our contestants today will be BreeZy, the red Terran player, and his teammate will be Ursmart, the blue Zerg. Their opponents are going to be Veggiedealer, the teal Zerg. I assume that is some sort of ironic counterplay to the name Fruit Dealer, the famous Korean Starcraft player, and his teammate will be IceAJ, the purple Terran. I know it has been a while since I've cast a game, you guys, and that is because I've been super busy this week. I finally got a job. Yay! Yay, I finally got a job and it started this week, so I've been really busy with that. Plus, my sister is leaving for South Africa over Christmas, so my family sort of celebrated an early Christmas, so I've been doing that. And band practice ramping up with the recording scheduled January 6th and 7th for our new lounge rock album. So I've been super busy guy. But I'm making some time to cast some games for you. I know I've gotten a lot of submissions recently and I'm doing my best to get to as many of them as I can. So just bear with me. Either way, this game will be on Tyrador Keep and it will be a mirror matchup TZ versus TZ, and looks like we're not going to see a fast hatchery from either Zerg player, so I am very surprised by that notion, but something to think about as far as that goes. The Terran players both have spawned far away from the ramps, so it is a little bit more of a pain for the Terran player to try and wall off. So what they may just do is bunker up there a little bit later, but we will see, as BreeZy is sending out a pretty early scout here, and we'll see that Veggiedealer has a pretty fast pool here. And just now finishing, but no Zerglings are on the way. So it looks like we're just going to get a queen and go eco here and possibly get an expansion. We could see this SCV be a sneaky McSneakerton and throw down an engineering bay or something here, but no, there is a marine out, and that marine, whoa, a little bit of a mismicro there from AJ. I think he could have killed that SCV, but he ran sideways. It looks like the Zerglings will finish that off, and now speed is being researched by both Zerg players. Ursmart does have 4 Zerglings starting to make their way across the map here, and BreeZy does have a Marauder already on the way out, and going to be revealing that Marauder here to take out this drone. Will he even get the drone? The queen should be able to get the drone. There she blows. And so more Zerglings coming across the map, going to be chilling at this watchtower to watch for any sort of push. And you guys know how it is on Tyrador Keep, man. This map usually sets up for an extremely long-term game. And we do have a command center being built pretty early here by IceAJ, and it looks like with Veggiedealer taking this natural expansion that AJ will be wanting to try and grab this gold. And so he probably will be going for some siege tanks to help hold that. You can put siege tanks on this high ground here and really make this gold base very difficult to break. And so there's going to definitely be some pressure from the left team because they have not opted to expand at all. The Baneling's nest has finished. The Zerglings are at the watchtower, and there are some Zerglings chilling at the front here. I expect to see these morphed into Banelings very soon. Looks like one Zergling was sent up to scout here, but oh no, you're smart. You're smart. No, you're not that smart. You're smart. What are you doing, bro? You revealed your Banelings by running your Zerglings all the way back here. You revealed the Banelings. You should have let these 2 Zerglings die so that they would not see this coming, but now they know it's coming. They've got a few seconds to try and react. The Spinecrawler has gone down for Veggiedealer into the middle line. Here come the Banelings, going to be trying to blow up on the drones, but again, Veggiedealer saw this coming, evacuating the drones. These Banelings want to get into this group of Zerglings and blow it up. There are a couple of Hellions on the field for IceAJ trying to shoot at these Banelings, but oh, these Banelings could have blown up a bunch of Zerglings. There's another chance right there, blowing up. Oh, so many STVs are going to die right there. A nice job with the Banelings from the blue player. Ursmart, sorry about that, Ursmart, I forgot you for a second, but continuing to stream units in here, and now Veggiedealer, what happened to all of his drones? They're still running all over the place here. Marauders trying to chase them, they will not be able to kill them that quickly. IceAJ with a few Marines and a Hellion out here, and that is going to get cleaned up by these Zerglings, and now Veggiedealer desperately needs to get a surround on this Marauder and force these Zerglings to run away. A very intense moment for the right team, but if they can hold, they will have an economic edge because this base is already finished. But a lot of SCVs did die, so I don't know. I think the left team might have negated that economic edge. And I don't think the left team is going to be able to break this. There are enough Zerglings now on the map for Veggiedealer. A couple of Hellions here. Ursmart still harassing all over the place. Will he be able to take out this factory? It will get lifted off. A nice play there from IceAJ. He does have an SCV repairing that, so it should not go down. And the Zerglings are going to run away. So it looks like they have held. More Marauders are coming across the map here. BreeZy continuing to pump Marines and Marauders, and now working on a factory as well as a command center. In this game, oh, the Marauders getting caught without any defenses, and they're all going to get surrounded and picked off. A nice play there from Veggiedealer. Here come the Banelings though from Ursmart, and Veggiedealer seeing those at the last second. Needs to start sending a couple of Zerglings at a time into these Banelings to try and work them down. He's going to have to evacuate the drones here, and now the Hellions and Spinecrawlers will pick off the Banelings before they can do any real damage there. So an opportunity lost there for the left team for a second. I thought BreeZy and Ursmart might have had another chance to end this, but the Marauders did get surrounded. The Banelings were not finished in time. And so one key blunder so far for the left team that I could tell is revealing the Banelings by running those Zerglings away a few seconds too early. But they did manage to do quite a bit of damage here. A lot of SCVs did die. And the siege tanks are now out here. We have Blue Flame on the way. Siege tech has not even begun to be researched, so I assume that will be next on the list. And now we're going to be sending out some Hellions and Zerglings across the map here to check out what is the haps. And BreeZy is going to have to be careful here. These Marines and Marauders stim has finished, though. They should be able to easily clean up these Zerglings should they choose to engage. We're forcing the stim there early, costing them a lot of hit points. A nice timing on the engagement from the right team. Looks like they will be able to clean this up. And BreeZy losing a lot of units here. Another Marauder being rallied out into the middle of nowhere. And Ursmart retreating with his Zerglings. No way for him to deal with all of the Hellions. And so now a couple of Spinecrawlers being thrown out at the front, including a couple of Evolution Chambers to try and keep these Blue Flame Hellions from doing too much damage. The Banelings are trying to get into them here, but the Blue Flame is so powerful, one Baneling is going to blow up and kill one Hellion there. And oh, the Hellions! A little bit too far ahead of themselves, a little bit too split apart, and the Zerglings make quick work of them. I like this Evo Chamber placement up here. That was pretty cool. And BreeZy actually going to be killing his own rocks here. Interesting, interesting. I will say, as these rocks have been taken out and the gold has been thrown down by BreeZy, and the same thing going down here for IceAJ, but his is already command center. And so let's check the income tab. We do have centrifugal hooks on the way, FYI, for Veggiedealer, so he's going to be transitioning into Banelings. If we check the income tab, Veggiedealer well ahead right now. And BreeZy way behind. It looks like that is because he is sending a ton of SCVs down over here to his new base that is going to become a planetary fortress. So that will be much easier to hold than this base. But BreeZy does not have those tanks on the high ground. And now it cannot land this factory on the creep at this reactor. So the factory is instead just floating around here. Zerglings are going to find out about that base, and we'll be able to pick off a few of these SCVs here. Actually make it quite a few of them that just died there. So a nice play from Veggiedealer, and we do see Mutalisk now coming out from both Zerg players. Always good play on this map. It is so wide open. Zerglings and Mutalisk, so effective on this map. And Hellions as well. They're so fast. They're so fast, you guys. But the Mutalisks only really do stuff when you have a lot of them, and that is why Ursmart is making 7 more right now. And he is going to have a crap load of Mutalisks to go start harassing. But at the same time, there are 6 Mutalisks from Veggiedealer coming across the map, and if Ursmart should intercept them, these Mutalisks will get cleaned up so fast. Stim going off for BreeZy, but some good reaction from Veggiedealer will be able to save all the Mutalisks except one, it looks like. And he is going to need some help to protect these Mutas. There's really no anti-air to speak of on the right team, except for a few queens here and there. And I think if these Mutas wanted to engage directly, they could, but instead they're going to be getting free shots on all these Hellions. Oh no! IceAJ just now finishing a 1 missile turret inside his mineral line. And BreeZy going to be sending down some Marines and Marauders to try and support that, but the Marines getting roasted up very quickly, and the tanks shooting away from this tucked away corner down here. Going to pick off these Marauders, it looks like, fairly easily. Missile turret picking off the dropship. There goes that attack. And now Mutalisks, a huge blunder here from Ursmart. Oh no! I shouldn't say a huge blunder, a minor blunder. He did manage to get 1 missile turret, but it cost him a couple of Mutalisks. And now Veggiedealer's Mutalisk numbers are comparable, though not as high. And he will be forced to fall back again. Mutalisks going back and forth here. The upgrade's going to be favoring Veggiedealer very shortly here. The attack upgrade will be finished sooner than for Ursmart. But Ursmart seems to have the numbers advantage still on the Mutalisks. And going to be starting to harass this fresh new base here from Veggiedealer. But I don't think he will be able to do a whole lot about that. Again, he could engage this directly. The Mutalisk numbers are equal, but a couple of reinforced Mutalisks coming down from Veggiedealer is going to give the advantage. But Ursmart, with a bunch more Mutalisks flying in, is going to force the retreat here. There are a couple of Spore Crawlers in this main mineral line, but none in this natural. A couple of drones getting picked off there. And could this hatchery actually go down? We will see. It looks like Veggiedealer is going to concede that hatchery and continue to pump the Mutalisks. Meanwhile, IceAJ has transitioned into Thors, and that is going to be huge. And also getting the high-sec auto-tracking. Something I've seen the last couple of games. Some more Mutalisks coming out to engage, but there are not enough of them. A little bit early. Here comes a Thor from AJ getting a couple of shots off. That is going to force these Mutas to fall back. And Rutro, a couple more shots. 1 more shot could do a ton of damage to these Mutalisks. Ursmart needs to be very careful here. And let his Mutas heal up a little bit. Go sit him next to these dropships, man. That'll heal him up quickly. As you might as well utilize your Terran. If your Terran partner's going to go bio, you might as well take advantage of his medevacs and heal up those Mutas. Scan going off, going to reveal this army composition. A lot of Zerglings sitting in the wind here that could get us around on this group of Marines and Marauders for BreeZy and end this game. But there are some Banelings now being morphed in for Ursmart. That is happening right down here. And so those Zerglings are going to have to be careful. Mutalisks wanting to try and get into some of these siege tank lines, but really unable to because of the Thors and the missile turrets and Spore Crawlers all over the place. So a bit of a stalemate right now in this game. A starport being thrown down by IceAJ, probably going to get some Vikings for the air support and extra vision here. We will see a couple of command centers being built now from AJ. Look at all the minerals these guys are sitting on. Holy crap. And here we go, going to be pressing into this army. Ursmart, however, using all his Banelings on the Thors, and now the Zerglings are coming in to get the surround on BreeZy's army. He's desperately trying to lift off some of these units, and that apparently is going to work. Meanwhile, Mutalisks going eye for an eye here. Veggiedealer will be able to pull back, though. There are a couple of Spore Crawlers, and Ursmart is going to lose all his Mutas if he continues to press that attack. A very even exchange there. Unfortunately for the left team, the Banelings were blown up on the Thors instead of the Zerglings, but a nice play there from BreeZy with the liftoff. And going to need another liftoff here if he doesn't want to lose all of these Marauders. And he may not be able to get them in time, as these Zerglings are desperately trying to get in front of the Marauders. Might want to just go ahead and attack there and pick them off. It's the left team falling back, licking their wounds. And now BreeZy is going to start working on some upgrades. And this base, all the while, Ursmart has been macroing very well. And Veggiedealer just now able to get this base rolling after having to rebuild that hatchery. And some siege tanks there were picked off by the Marauders, if you did not notice that. And so one of these command centers ended up being built. Is he going to make this a planetary fortress, or is he gonna he's gonna make an orbital command here and lift it off over here? Okay, we have something set to land over here. Where is it? Where is the floating command center that is going to land down there? It is not. It is going to be built, and Ursmart sees this happening, going to be forcing the cancel on all of these missile turrets and on this command center before the army can get down here, or will they? The Hellions won't be able to do much, and there goes the cancel. Meanwhile, the entire army being brought down here, these Mutalisks could take these out as they're in much greater number. And now Veggiedealer really beefing up the Mutalisks. And BreeZy is transitioning into lots of Marines here and getting the level 3 ground weapons upgrade. The gold has been basically mined out. There are a lot of useless SCVs right here for BreeZy. Needs to take another base. As now AJ has turned that command center into an orbital command and is now lifting it off to move down here. So left team will have to think about making something happen, or the Terran player will get pretty far ahead, as BreeZy is pretty much mined out right now. You're going to be taking out these rocks and lifting a command center off to go all the way down to this corner. And this planetary fortress, now that this is basically mined out, will not be doing a whole lot. So IceAJ opting to go with the orbital command here, paying off a little bit better with the siege tech. Excuse me, there, with the siege tanks to support it. And now a couple of Vikings are out, and ruh-roh. Ursmart building 9 Ultralisks. The chitinous plating has begun being researched. And we have infestors and Ultralisks. So Ursmart has been macro. You've transitioned from mutas into ultras and infestors, but this chitinous plating may not be finished by the time he needs it. There are a lot of Zerglings and Mutalisks here for Veggiedealer, and these Marines are going to be key, as well as these infestors. Can they get fungal growth down on the Mutalisks? The engagement is going to take place at a very strange angle here. The right team is coming around the left side. The siege tanks are not sieged up right now. Zerglings flying face first into this group of Marines, but the fungal growths are going down all over the Zerglings. Look at those Zerglings melting away, but the siege tanks have sieged up, and they're just blowing the crap out of all of these Marines. There they go, but here come the Ultras now from the left side. The chitinous plating has not finished, but it does not matter. There are so many Ultralisks. They are just ripping through the siege tank line. God, I love me some Ultralisks. They're so pimp. And now Veggiedealer pumping out 52 Zerglings and 14 Mutalisks to desperately try and hang on after losing his entire army. Both teams really trading armies there. And now BreeZy with practically no income. What can he do in this game? Let's check the income tabs right now. Actually, everybody is still managing to mine a little bit here. But these Ultras look like they will be able to deny this base, as here comes some Zerglings to try and take them out, as well as a ton of Mutalisks from Veggiedealer. But it looks like these Mutalisks are going to be forced to chase away Ursmart's Mutalisks, and at the same time, these Ultralisks are just ripping through all the Zerglings, and now the SCVs are just sitting down in a corner. So vulnerable right now. If this had been a planetary fortress, who knows? This could be a different story. But right now, it looks like this base is going to get completely annihilated, and it looks like IceAJ is going to leave the game. Veggiedealer leaves the game. A little bit premature, perhaps. I don't know. But did I miss that flock of mutas dying to some infestors? I think I might have there. I want to jump back really quickly here. Did he manage to lure those mutalisks all the way back to... Hang on here. Why can't I... There we go. Alright, I gotta check this. What happened to this ball of mutas? What happened to this ball of mutalisks? Running into some marines. Just a few marines. Able to force them all the way back over here. And it looks like they actually just ran away. And ended up conceding this. So I thought maybe they got fungal growth, but no, they did not. So anyway, a pretty exciting game there. Thank you, Ursmart, for sending me this game. It was a pleasure to cast. That is going to do it for me. This is IrieStarcraft, and peace out.